Don't play. YouTube, what's the deal, man? We are back with another video. We currently right now about to go wash the car. From the thumbnail and from the title, it's gonna be a nice little story time. It's gonna be a funny story time, man. In this story time, I'm gonna tell you guys how I had this little temp job and I quit, bro. I know it don't seem that funny, but it's the process within itself of me getting a job and how I left the job and just all of that. So y'all just stay tuned, man. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And remember, you know what I'm saying, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow my socials, for real. That's where I be active at too. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all that good stuff. So yeah, we about to go wash the car right now, and I'm gonna catch up with y'all after we get there. Let's go. I don't know if y'all can see him. Buddy was all up on the phone, wasn't paying attention, man. Like, what you got going on, bro? Now, if somebody hit my car, I hit somebody's car, it's his fault. I ain't even gonna lie to you. All right, so we back from washing the car, as you can see. So let's get up into the story time, man. So look, this story time goes back to like September, something like that. I know it was 2019. I know it's a little bit after I graduated. I'm gonna just give you a little background information on how I got up in this position, first and foremost. So a little bit after graduation, I decided to take a leave from my job to you know, take a trip somewhere because I had to go visit a family member that was like very sick. So I ended up taking a leave. That was like a little bit in May, towards the end of May, beginning of June, something like that. So I ended up taking a leave and I left my job. I was gone longer than I planned. So by the time I got back, it was just too hard and too difficult to even try and get the job back. Plus the people that was there, like the whole management, they were super difficult. It's another word I want to use for what they were, but you know, we ain't even gonna do all the name calling and whatnot. But they were super difficult. If you worked up at the Walmart in Fresno, you know exactly, around 2019, you know exactly who the management was. Everybody there wasn't tripping and wasn't crazy and all that, but a select few was. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. So anyways, I finally make it back to the city in like let's say, I think it had to be September, so I would say like August, something like that. So mind you, I don't have a job. I'm with my granny. I'm staying over there, you know, just chilling and whatnot. So my granny was basically saying like, you know, got to get a job.
You listen to me. I want you to get your ass up today, go out and look for a job.
Blah, blah, blah. She didn't really say that because, you know, I was still helping out with, you know, bills and stuff like that. But basically was saying that at the same time. You know, I was selling shoes, reselling shoes, stuff like that at the time. So, I mean, I had steady income, but she just wanted me to get a job, which was cool, understandable. You know, I'm still young, but at the time I was way younger. So just being super young, just like wanting to just be free and, you know, everything else, I was like, what's the best way to go about this? So I forgot how I got introduced to the little temp agency or whatever you want to call it. I think it was like Worksteer or something. I forgot what it was, to be honest, but it was something with the temp agency. Now this is like, I want to say this is like right before COVID hit, or yeah, it had to be right before COVID hit. But it's September 2019, so I don't know how long it been. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, it was around that time. So I'm up on there applying for jobs every day, until one day I got a hit. Now, it was a warehouse job. Now, I always knew up in my head, like, you know, just learning from other people's experiences and whatnot, like my uncles, friends, everybody, they work at warehouses, and they told me, you know, and just from everybody else's experiences, I know it gets either super hot or super cold. This is the summertime, I mean, it's starting to cool off, but it's the summertime in Texas heat. So whatever it feel like outside is times 10 in the warehouse. Just a little note. So I go to this, I accept the job. It's like somewhere close to the north side. So if you from Houston, and I'm on the south side going to the north side, so that's like a whole journey. So look, I ended up going there, and what I was doing was, it was like this hard plastic. Now, if you like at a school or like if you at a school or something like that, but if you at a school or something like that, then you would know what I'm talking about. But it's like a little black box. I think it's for like catching rats or something like that. I'm not sure, but it's like a little plastic, hard plastic little piece / component, I guess you want to call it, that goes in that box. So I was at a little machine that was making those, right? Now, I stuck with this job like maybe 2-3 days total, if that. Maybe it was just the first day. I'm gonna be honest. I think it was like after the first shift. So, actually, I stuck out 2 days because I remember. I'm gonna explain how. All right, so after, I get there, they explain what I'm gonna do. This is your machine. This is what you're gonna do. Blah blah blah. I had to sign in the front up on this little clipboard because, mind you, it's a temp agency that I'm working through or whatever. It's not full employment just yet. So they showed me. I meet the managers and supervisors, all that good stuff. And they was like, all right, this your machine or whatever. This what you're gonna be doing. I was basically sitting up on the stool, sliding this little door open, and like all the plastic pieces will come out. I'll put them up in the box and move it, and just do that all day. It was very boring. It was hot up in there. On top of that, the machine I was working at was super duper hot. Like, it was like crazy. It was like super hot. So I'm sweating up in there. I'm gonna insert some kind of clip just showing. I know it's like, I don't know if I showed the machine or I showed that I was working up in there, but I got receipts for everything. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm gonna insert that somewhere up in this video just so y'all can have an idea of like just the conditions. But just for future reference, if you got to, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, but don't work at no warehouse, bro, unless it's like maybe FedEx, Amazon. But even still, I probably wouldn't even do it like now. So just based off that experience alone. So it was pretty easy what I had to do within the job itself, but it was just something I wasn't trying to do. I'm gonna just keep it all the way real with you. So the manager that came in and whatnot and was like, all right, you could go to break, this and that. Now, I was working like long hours. Like, I'm 18, fresh out of high school, bro. So like, before that, I was working at Popeyes, I think, or Walmart or something. Like, it was Walmart, and then Popeyes, then Walmart, then this. So I'm not really used to these harsh conditions and whatnot. And my generation of, young adults and whatnot, we don't take disrespect and stuff lightly. Like, we will leave a job, even if we don't like it, we would just leave a job and find another one. Like, we change jobs like we change our clothes. Like, that's what like a lot of older people and the older crowd be saying, like, oh, y'all can't hold a job or whatever the case may be. Nah, it ain't we can't hold a job. We just ain't gonna, tolerate certain things, you know what I'm saying? So that was a case of this right here. So, I ended up coming back from break or whatever. Worked another 4 hours, got off at like 10, 11 o'clock or whatever. It was pretty dark, but I ended up going to Wingstop, and then I went to my granny house. So I remember talking to my older cousin, we just chopping it up and whatnot. And I was just thinking like, man, today was like tiring, and I had to get up and do it again the next day, bro. Like, but it wasn't early or nothing like that. It was probably about, I would say like 2 to 11, 3 to 11. Like, that's probably the worst shift ever. Like, especially being, like 18, 19, you want to go to like parties, hang out with your friends, do this, do that. That is like the worst shift ever to work. Like, I like working early in the morning. Go ahead, get it out the way. I can have the rest of my day to do whatever I want to do. But at the time, that's the shift I was working. So I woke up the next day, I'm getting ready. And I could already feel it. Like, man, I ain't feeling today. Like, I could already feel it. I'm just up in that mood where I'm just like, man, this ain't it. Like, so I finally make it there. And, they assign me back to my little section or whatever. Now, this is where the story kind of take a turn, just a little bit. So I get up there, and it was this older Hispanic lady that was, like the supervisor or whatever. She was very rude, bro, like super rude for no reason, like I'm living with my grandmother, I have a lot of women in my family, so I'm a manager, you know what I'm saying? Like, out of this world, yes ma'am, no ma'am, like hold the door, all that good stuff. So I wasn't giving her no reason to be rude to me, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. So she was just being rude for whatever. Like, I don't know what her reason was to being rude, but I ain't like it. So that's what me first getting there, I'm already dealing with her being rude and kind of sharp. So I go to my little destination or whatever, and it's like I get there like 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and I'm working. I'm just like, man. Oh, also, I couldn't be on my phone. Like, I could not be on my phone at all. Like, I could not be on my phone. And then now that I remember now, what kind of made it worse, I was going through a breakup, bro. Now, some people could relate to this. Bro, if you ever gone through it with your significant other while you at work, one, nobody could say nothing to you, and two, like, you don't even want to be at work, bro. Like, I done seen people get broken up at work, and they'll start crying and stuff like that. I wasn't crying, but on the inside, I was hurt, boy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So I'm dealing with all of this while I'm at this whack warehouse job. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So I'm dealing with all that. So everything just like adding up. So, and she still bothering me and stuff like that, because I'll check my phone from time to time, see how much time done passed until I go to break or I go home, whatever. And she's still tripping with me, flipping out, whatever. I don't know what it was. So I go to break, end up coming back kind of early from break. I got back on my machine. So then that's when she was coming by and she had said something. I was like, hey, I forgot my water up in the car. Like, it was my water or something. I gave some kind of BS excuse so I could go to the car. Now, when I walked up in there, I didn't have nothing with me but myself. So I didn't necessarily need to come back up in the building. So y'all kind of get where I'm about to go with this. So I ended up walking to, out the building towards the restroom. Luckily, the restroom was by the front door, like the big opening of the warehouse. So that's what it was. I didn't tell her I needed to go to the car. I told her I needed to go to the restroom. That's what it was. So she was like, yeah. So I told her, my excuse or whatever, and she came over there. So when she came over there, like, I'm deep in the back of the warehouse. So, like, you can't see me from the restroom. Like, I can't see that. I have to go this way and then go around and be by the restroom, which was by the opening. So I walked that way. I actually went to the restroom, but when I came out the restroom, washed my hands and all that good stuff, I walked to my car. And when I walked to the car, I just got in, turned it on, and I just drove off. I ain't gonna lie. To this day, like, really just thinking about it, that is crazy, like, that I even did that. So, of course, after I don't know how long it took for her to realize I had left, but of course I got like a phone call or something like that. I didn't answer. I think I blocked the number or something like that. I really don't remember. I was wild. Like, I just wasn't going for it. So I did eventually end up getting paid for both of those shifts. The first one was a full shift, and then that one, of course, I didn't get paid for the full entire shift, but I still got paid for, clocking in and working that day. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, that's just what it is. I feel like a lot of people are like that. Some people are strong and they can just deal with a whole bunch of like unnecessary stress, BS. But you know, I'm young, fresh out of high school. Like, I could care less. Like, this ain't no career for me or nothing. That's just how I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up leaving. Like, I wasn't thinking about what she had to do if she was up on the machine. Nothing like that. I'm just like, look, I'm not on this machine. You better be glad I ain't just leave. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that was a story time on how I ended up just leaving a job, a temp job at that. It was temporary anyway, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to excuse or make no excuses for what I did, but it is what it is. It's up in the past, man. But yeah, that concludes this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.